Hello, how are you? So yeah, this is AI Saturday Lagos, and my name is Ejiro Onose. I would be taking the lab for data collections and web scraping. All right. Well, whether you're just starting out your career, whether you're new, I think this particular topic is like very crucial, and there's like a lot to learn. And the truth is, you would always keep coming back here because getting data is like lifeblood. It's one of like the major things we do as data scientists. All right. So take this out. All right. So in this lab, we'll explore the basics of data collection and web scraping. In Python, we would I was in the last lecture. Mr. Tayo did a good job explaining all of these concepts. So I'm not just going to go over explanation again. I'll just quickly go to let's start coding, right? All right. So firstly, so for introduction 6, yeah, data collection is the process of just gathering information, and we gather information from different sources. So he talked about databases, and he said you guys will consider this particular topic in the next class. So I'm just going to skip that. Then let's start from one short place where data scientists can always get data. So that is the kaggle.com/datasets website. If you don't have a Kaggle account right now, so I want you to go to www.kaggle.com and create an account right now, like right now. So what is Kaggle, right? You may be wondering, why is this man telling us going to get a Kaggle account? So Kaggle is a website that hosts competitions for ML engineers and data scientists. It's a great place to find projects, to find learning materials, to find resources. And it's also a good place to get data, right? It's also a good place to get data. So like as you be getting your hands wet with all this data science concept and machine learning concepts, you would not use air, right? You use data. So how do you get data set from Kaggle? So when you go to this www.kaggle.com/datasets, you'll see this. So let me just go there, right? So this is it. This is the URL. So you see data set. Then you can choose any data set. So posted here are different data sets, right? So you can see this. This is CSV data sets. They have like different trending data sets, a lot of data sets. You can images, CSVs, and all of it, right? So you can come here, check education, come here. It's an exhaustive list. You can't exhaust the list, right? It's an inexhaustive list. So what you would do is how to download data sets here. So let's say I want to download a COVID data set, for example. So I'm just going to come here and say COVID, choose this. As I choose this COVID-19 data set. And all I have to do is to come here and click download. So when I download this, usually for say 20 MB, like it's going to download like as a zip folder, so just unzip it, or to download as a CSV file. So that's like the simplest way of downloading data sets from Kaggle. All right, it's very simple. So like I said here, you just come here to download, you download it, and it's a very good option. But now, so there is usually a challenge, right? So let's say you have a data set that is, so this is 20 MB. Let's say you want to download a data set that is about, give or take, maybe 200 MB or 2 GB or thereabouts. Now, the idea that you have to like download it into your locally, then upload it into your model if you're using Colab, might be a bit stressful, right? Usually it's stressful, like you're doing a download and an upload, right? But Kaggle allows you, right, to access this website directly from your Jupyter Notebook. And now, in the last class, Mr. Tayo talked about using API calls. He talked about JSON files. He talked about API keys, rather, not API calls. Well, API calls and API keys, same. But so Kaggle allows you to use your JSON file to call the datasets API. And I'm just going to show you how to do that quickly. Doesn't require so much. So we want to so the first step is that you have to go to your Kaggle file, your Kaggle profile. So you go to your profile, then you go to account. Under account, you see this tab called API token. So you go from profile, account, API token. So let me show you how that works. So this is profile here. So you go to your profile, Then you go to accounts. So it opens up this large page for you. Then because of I have created some tokens before, right? I have this expired token. And the next thing you do is you just click create new token. So the moment you click this, it automatically downloads a Kaggle.json file for you, right? It automatically downloads this Kaggle.json file. So what you will do is you come back to your Colab. If you're using Colab, all you just have to do now, once to upload this Kaggle.json file into our Colab. So the way to do that is we'll say from Google or Colab, import files, then you do files upload. So we would run this, and you should see choose files here. So that JSON file just downloaded. Come here, click on it, then upload it. It would, so yeah, so this is done. This has been uploaded already. So the JSON file that just contains my username as a don't mind the username. So this is my username and the API key, right? So now I looked at the curriculum and I saw that in the last class we learned how to use command line. So you can also use command line on your Jupyter notebook. The only thing, all you just need to add to the code is to add this exclamation mark, right? So the first code, what we are trying to do here is, this first line is just saying, if there is any .kaggle folder I have anywhere before, remove it, because I don't want the two folders to conflict, right? I don't want any issue. So I'm just telling you, so this is just to remove any .kaggle folder I had before. So this is now saying make directory, so make another folder named Kaggle this, make another Kaggle folder. Then I'm saying that JSON, this JSON file I just downloaded, I want to upload it, I want to move it rather into my Kaggle.json file. And now this code is just saying that I'm giving my notebook permission to use this Kaggle.json file in this folder, right? And so when after we run this, I should let me try and separate this. Well, it doesn't matter. But this last code here is just saying because of I have this my Kaggle.json folder now, automatically Kaggle has some like already inbuilt data sets tied to your profile. So yours might be different from this. All right. So this is just saying run out the list of data sets that are connected to my Kaggle profile already. So yours, so if you were maybe in a competition on Kaggle before, chances are you would see the data sets of one of the this thing you were in, of one of the competitions you were in, or the competitions you were in, right? When you do this, I think I have some charts. It's taking long to execute. All right. Thing cannot remove no such file or directory. All right. So now one thing we can do is these data sets that we have here, these are like the references, this is the title, this is the size, this was when it was the last time it was updated, and all of that information. So let's say, for example, you want to pick one of the data sets here. Let's say you want to use one of the data sets in this place, right? I already went ahead to like test all of this myself. So yeah, so all you just need to do is let me come here. So let's say, so I like this hotel price data of cities in India. So one thing you can do is you can come here, just copy this entire thing, copy it. Then let me take all of this out. So the code to download any of the data sets here is you do your exclamation mark Kaggle datasets download. Then the data set you want to use, just copy it, paste it here. right? Then run it. Right? So it has downloaded already. Now, as you can see, it's downloaded as a zip file, right? It's zipped already. So now we want to import it, right? We want to unzip each other. So this file has been downloaded already. Right? So I will come here to my files. So this is it, right? So this is the zip. This is the zip file already. So I come here, I click copy path because I would need that. I want to unzip it, right? So Python allows you to unzip using the import zip file, using the zip file library module, library actually, using the zip file library. Then I assign a zip reference to it. So using zip file, I want to like open that file. I want to read the contents in that zip file. So this was what I was trying it before. So but I think we don't need this again because it's not downloaded. So take it out. So you remember I just copied from a path, then I paste that here. Paste that here. So I'm telling you that extract everything you have from content from this thing. So this is my parents directory. This is what is inside that directory. So I'm saying extract everything you have into this. I want you to extract it into content, right? So if you are using your Jupyter notebook, for example, so if you're doing that, so go to the zip. So if you downloaded this, if this is downloaded, it would be in your Jupyter notebook directory, right? So just go there, click on it, and copy the path. Copy. So one way to copy the path is if you're using depending on the operating system you're using, you can just click properties, then you see the entire name, then you can get it from there if you're using Windows. For Mac, not done that before, but I think if you go, I think if you right click on it, control click on it, you should see path there. So that's how to like get this entire thing. Or you could, if you don't want to unzip, you could just like unzip it properly on your with File Explorer or with WinRAR or any of these unzipping tools. Then use it here. Yeah. Well, we want to do everything. So the reason I'm doing this is because we want to do everything on Colab. We want to go outside Colab. So that's why we're doing all of this. And sometimes it makes sense to do everything in one environment. All right. So we're extracting everything in this place into content. Then we are closing it. All right. So if you come here, you should see that so it's a lot of data. So we have the Bangla.csv. So we've extracted all the CSV files. So this is everything here. All right, so let me just take this Bangla.shenai From starts with E for Ejiro. Let's start with B. Let's just do Bangla. I am not pronouncing this correctly. This is Bangla or something here. In case that offended anybody, I'm really sorry. It was not my intention. All right, so all you just have to do is copy path. Copy path. Then, so we want to see the files we just downloaded, right? I'm not sure everybody knows how to use Pandas already, but Pandas is a very powerful library we use in Python, especially in data science for exploring and modifying and extracting information from data. So what you have to do is you import the Pandas library, import Pandas library as PD, then we assign it to, we say we want to read it, so we write df. So df is, we're assigning the whole Pandas PD.read CSV into this df. So take this out, paste this here. I just want to view, all right? So to view data sets is to say df.head. It's a method for viewing in Pandas. All right, so now you have your data sets right here in Colab. The only time you went outside of Colab was when you went to download the JSON file. All right, so let's say you were working on a competition, and that competition has like this serious data. like let's say it's 2 gig or thereabout, right? So Python, sorry, I said Python. Kaggle allows you to download from a competition, to download data set from a competition. All you just have to do is to write this command, !Kaggle, competition download, then C, then the name of the download. Now, usually you would see this at the bottom of every competition, right? Now, so I tried to download the data set for a particular competition, and it gave me the 403 forbidden error code telling me that I have not accepted the competition rules. I did not. So let me show what that looks like. What that generally look like. Okay, I need this to go. Oh, sorry. So you could just go to competitions, right? So let's say we pick this competition. So, but first, to download any data set directly from the competition, you have to join the competition, right? So, and the beautiful thing with this Kaggle, and just everybody peep and look here. This is $50,000 for anyone that wins this competition. So let you know that in data space, people are eating good. So for everyone here that is learning data science or learning machine learning, or any of the many fields in between, there's serious money here. You know, so what you just do, so sorry. So when you go to the competition, you go to data. So this gives you like a pretty much an overview of what the data is. Then all you just have to do is come here, click it. Now, this when you click it, you have to join the. So now, as you can see, this is about 460 gig. So say you join this competition, for example, downloading this data locally, then uploading back would be stressful. So all you just have to do is, based on, there are two conditions for this to work. One, you've gone to you're talking to your Jupyter Notebook or Deep Note or wherever you're or whatever environment you're working on. Join the competition, and after you join, go to your just check this out. Now, if obviously work because I've not joined the competition code. I've not joined the competition. You can go to the Kaggle documentation, Kaggle website, and check out. So another platform that offers something like Kaggle is Zindi. But the beautiful thing and what I love about Zindi is because Zindi is majorly African based, right? The data sets there are sets that relate to like African countries. We have the things going on generally in Africa, basically purely African data sets. Well, I think it's a mixture of both European and African data sets, but majorly African data sets. So it's also a platform that aims to accelerate. In a way, it also has this, like, so the data sets you'll be working with on Zindi, they have like, they are really, they are not dummy data. So it was years of research people that came together to research, and they want data scientists and machine learning engineers like you to bring out actionable insights from this data. So it usually has like this, there's a prize attached to it, right? So for example, right here on my screen, you can see this CGIRA Eyes on the Ground challenge. The prize money is $10,000. So people are currently enrolled. I'm also enrolled in that competition. You know, so that's so to download data from Zindi, all you have to do is The process to download it into your notebook is a bit long usually, so I don't stress anybody with that, but usually the simplest way is to just come. So on the tab for every competition, just go to the data tab. If you scroll down, you'll see a download button for each of the data sets, then you can download them. All right. So that's that on Zindi. Right. So the next place we'll be looking at is the Hugging Face Hub. So Hugging Face Hub is the it's a platform that has a lot of pre-trained models. It also has data sets, right? There is a word for it. It's skipping me right now. But generally, so you know what? I'm just going to like go to that website so that we can have a look. Also, to like get data sets from Hugging Face, you have to create an account on Hugging Face. Right. So for folks here that are looking to perform NLP tasks, for folks here that are looking to do computer vision tasks, you want to explore this Hugging Face is like a very good place to start from when you're looking for data sets and pre-trained models, right? So this is the Hugging Face.co data set hub, right? So all you just have to do is come here. So if you check here, you see multimodal, right? So you can come here. So Hugging Face has so when you have an account, they would also create an API key for you. It's in the documentation. I attached it to the notebook itself. It's like a pretty long process. So I don't want to, because we need to go into web scraping, we need to do some other things in this course. But it's like very straightforward. That's why like I just left it out. It's very straightforward. All right. So yeah, so any data set you're looking for, computer vision data set, natural language processing data sets, audio data sets, tabular data sets. If you are looking to build the next LLM, so even the open LLM data set by Facebook is posted here. I think BERT and all the other models, they also posted here. I said, sorry, LLM model rather. So generally and you can also come here and look for data sets and enjoy yourself. So it's a very good place, and it is especially good for computer vision tasks and natural language processing tasks. All right. So other data sources, they include Google dataset search. So from here it just opens a search bar. You can search for data sets, any kind you're looking for. The UCI machine learning repository, it's also a good place for machine learning data sets. Yahoo Finance, awesome place for getting stock information, financial data. So these links take you directly to the website, and you will see how to like download it right there on the website, right? So these are like other sources you can get data sets from. This World Bank open data. If you go to this link, you click on it, you open it. Any of the data titles, just click on any of those ones. You'll see like a download button right there. There's the TensorFlow data sets. Right, so TensorFlow has this TFDS that allows you to like import data sets directly from the TensorFlow library. Right, so that's basically what this TensorFlow data set is all about. All right, so web scraping. So in the lecture this morning, Taya talked about web scraping. He talked about how to get data from websites. He mentioned the request library. He mentioned tools you can use. So I'm not necessarily going to like talk on these explanations. All right, we'll just like go into what we want to do. So generally, web scraping is just getting data from websites. That's the major idea. Right. So the objective of this web scraping lab is to, number one, would see how to like send HTTP requests to retrieve web content, or like we heard in the class this morning, web resource. Right. We would learn how to pass content with BeautifulSoup. We also want to see how to like extract particular content from different HTML tags. Would see how to like how to handle issues like pagination, dynamic content. We also see how to like get images from websites, then we'll talk about like RESTful APIs. We'll see how to like use RESTful APIs. And also another addition is just like the lecture this morning, we'll have a brief general overview on how to use regular expressions for passing and getting content. All right. So it's not here, but we'll do it down later. All right. So to perform a GET request from a website, right, we use the Python request library, right? This request library helps you to handle HTTP requests. So just like the name implies, request, it helps you to like ask questions or try to get data, try to ask things from HTTP documents, right? So to do that, you first have to like install the following libraries. One, you have to, so we are installing requests, and we are also installing BeautifulSoup, right? So BeautifulSoup is a library that helps you parse. And when I say parse, the word for it is it helps you explore HTML content. Basically, it helps you like it understands HTML content, then it can help you like get the particular files, the particular tags, the particular metadata, or the sources or the links that you need. So that's basically what BeautifulSoup is. Right. So to do that, you have to pip install it first. So you have to like pip install request and BeautifulSoup. So we'll run this. So all right. So to get content from say a website, we do that by first. So now that you've pip installed request and BeautifulSoup, and to get the content, basically, what we do is we use request first, just like ask the website to say, hey, come, give me your content, give me the things you have inside of you, right? So we do that. To do that, the first thing we do is we import requests. So you say import requests, right? After import requests, then you say URL, then you assign the URL to a variable, right? So in this case, so I want to get data from the CNN websites, right? So then to do that, I would just say, I would assign this CNN website to this URL. Then I'll come down, then the response I want to get, I'm going to assign it to this response variable here. So by saying, you can use anything, right? So just saying response equals to, so the requests that we imported already, .get. So remember when he was talking about, I think APIs and HTML and getting HTTP content, he talked about like 5 particular methods they use. So you have guest, post, delete, patch, and all of all those ones, right? So this is basically it. So what this request does is that it sends a get request. It sends a get request, right? Okay, so yeah, Python is doing this thing, telling us what it means. So we say .get URL. So this URL is basically the URL here. So now, when he was also talking this morning, I remember him talking about the some error codes that you generally receive, right? So we want to see the status code. We want to see. So now remember, request has been assigned to response. So we are just printing out once print out the response status code. We are saying a response. So together, we say response.status code _ status code, right? And we want to print the content of the entire website. So we'll just say response.content. This is just like an header to say this is what we are printing, right? So if you run this, so if you get a response code of 200, it means you can get the website allows you to get data from it. If you get a response code of 500, it means hey guys, you can't get data from it. I think there's 404. I think 44 means it's not that particular page is not available and stuff like that. So as you can see, these are like different. If we keep scrolling, this is like a lot of data and basically the HTML CSS document of that particular website. But we don't need all of this. All right. So usually we'll just come here. Oh, sorry. We don't need everything. So we could just tell it, give us the first 500. So we just run an index here and say, give us the first, we say, give us the, let's do this. So it just loads everything from the beginning. From the beginning to like the first 500 characters. So next we're looking at how to pass this HTML. So we send a GET request to get the HTML document now. So now we want to pass it. We want to be able to like explore this content, right? Let's move on. So once you have the web page, you can use BeautifulSoup to pass it and like navigate through the HTML document. So what we do is we create an object called soup, then we pass the BeautifulSoup library into it. So it could be anything, right? But the general variable we use is soup, right? So you create soup, then you put BeautifulSoup inside. Then here we are using responsive content. Then we are calling it the HTML parser. Now, depending on, so I remember this morning also, we looked at some differences between HTML and XML pages, right? So depending on the page you are working on, right? So if it looks like an XML page, instead of using this HTML parser, you would use the LXML parser. Something like this, right? So there are different parsers for different like pages, right? So after you do that, so we use this function prettify. So prettify is, so if you print soup directly, right? If you just do print soup, you will not necessarily, it looks all jumbled up and all. So prettify just helps us like arrange it properly, just to prettify it, to just make it look presentable, basically. All right. So, I forgot to mention. So remember we installed BeautifulSoup 4. So we have to write this function. To use BeautifulSoup here, we have to write the whole from BS4 import BeautifulSoup. All right. So yes. So if you're following, yeah. So yeah. So this is basically it. This is basically it again. So what if so now this soup that we did here, what it has done for us now, it has taken the entire HTML content, parsed it, then everything is in our soup object, right? Now, remember in an HTML file code or what have you, they have different tags, right? So usually you have the title tag, the H1 tag, you have things like P for paragraphs, you have things like A for links, IMG for images. Now, an HTML document contains like what's what now? We have different types. You will have a video component. You have a video component and all of that, right? So because of now we've passed everything with soup, BeautifulSoup, we can now take out those documents. We can now find those documents, we can now find those tags in the documents. We can extract them. So the next task is we want to extract data. And the first thing we are trying to do is we want to extract the information about the H1 tag. All right. So it's obviously the header. All right. I want to go to the CNN website. So in the CNN website, so this is an ad page, right? Will anyone read lines? Okay. So we should get something around here, right? Should get something around here. So let's run this script. So the code for this is, so we do a find. So find basically just gives you the first occurrence of a tag, like the first time that particular tag appears right? So we say header equals to soup.find h1. So now it can find h1 because okay, hold on. It can find h1 because all the HTML content in response, we've moved it into the soup object, right? So h1s, your h2s, everything, they are inside the soup content, inside the soup object rather. So you come here, so we say header, so this could be any label, we're using header for, so it can be readable, right? So header equals soup.find h1, then we are printing out the header text. Then also want to find the A tags, like the links, right? So we want to find all the links and they are just in ref attributes. So we'll say links equals to soup.find all. Now, difference between find and find all. So find just finds like the first h1 tag or one of the h1 tags, but usually I think the first h1 tag, right? While find all would give you all the occurrence of a particular tag that you are looking for. So if it was the h4, so if I change it to h1, I don't want to change it. We are just going to, I will come here and create another code and run this again. So what this is doing is, so we are saying find all the h1 tags. So you're not saying, so what we're trying, we're not telling to do another thing. We're saying we're creating a for loop to say for every element in this link, because it's going to find all the h1 tags, right? All the a tags. What's an int? What is a tag? So tags are basically the names of elements in an HTML file. So let me come to this website. So for example, so this is the cnn.com website, right? Now, tags that appear, so will anyone, so this particular line here is a header line, right? It's a header tag. So tags are general, so H1, H2, depending on, so H1, H2, H3, and all of those are header tags, they are title tags in HTML. So now, usually, right, there are some pages that, like the CNN website, for example. The reason why I chose both was because these are pages that you generally have more than one. These are websites that have more than one page, right? So if you want to get data from, like, say, maybe 1 or 2, 3, 4 pages at the same time, right? Say, so this is, all right. So what you are saying is you are sorry guys, let's give me a minute. So where was I? So how do you handle this, right? What you do is in the HTML document, when you are specifying the URL, right? So we are saying base underscore URL equals to HTTPS. We specify, we just give a range, not necessarily a range, just tell the page equals to an open this thing set, right? So you're just saying, just open it up. Then we come here, we write a for loop to say for page norm in range 1 to 6, right? Then we are saying this page URL, the base URL, page URL equals to the base URL dot format this page norm. So this page norm is a range of numbers from 1 to 6, right? So you run your .get response. The way you would run your .get, you run it and you get, and that's how you get all the values you want. All right, so usually, right, as much as we like getting text data, as much as we like getting like headers, titles, and all of this, one of the things you generally want to scrape the website for is for pictures, right? So you say you were training a machine learning model now, and you needed custom data you would not necessarily see anywhere, right? So one way to do that is you would need images, right? So you could go on Kaggle, you could go on all these other data sources I mentioned, you would get data from there. But let's say you want to get data and pictures from a particular website, right? Oh, sorry. Let's say you want to get pictures from a particular website, right? So BeautifulSoup, the response, like the request library, allows you to do that. Now, the only thing, so okay, let me just run through this code, right? So first we import OS. The reason why we're importing OS is because we want to download. We are downloading, so we need to like tell this thing Python that, hey, come, I want to give you access and I want to be able to like create a folder, download it locally on my own device or the environment I'm working on, right? So we say, so we call out the URL. So I want to download house images of apartment, bedrooms, and all of that, right? So propertypro.ng, they have like this web distance. We have, okay. So after you do that, you assign a request.get URL into response, the way we've been doing it, right? Then we say, so for the response, so we use the response status code as a condition to see whether we can get content from this website or not. So if you see, we are saying if the response of status code equals 200, that means if we are allowed to do this, right, get the website. Let me just scroll down a bit. Else, so if you can't, so this just like touch whether this just like, so in case, because if you don't do this else, if you don't make this condition, if you run this code, you may not know the reason why your code is not running, why you can't get why you can't get data from this website, right? So, so we do this. So we come here, we create another else statement to say, oh, you the response code is anything other than 200. So it could be 400, it could be 404, it could be 500, whatever, right? So now let's go into the meat of it. Let's go into the meat of it, right? Now, so the first thing we do is, in our if statements, we create an image folder. We create the name for an image folder, right? So say image folder equals to images. Then we say, then to create the folder, I say this, we are just assigning a name, right? Now to create the folder itself, we say os.make directory image folder, like so this name. Then we do exist okay equals to let it be there. It's like doing when you do in place basically, right? Now, so after you do that, now in HTML documents, images are usually attached to the img tag. So you see the way headers are attached to the H1, H2, and all that, P is attached to paragraphs, A, links. For images, we use the img, right? Now, so you tell BeautifulSoup to find all the image tags, right? Now, so this particular part is usually dependent on the website you are scraping from, but generally it works across board. Now let me explain it. All right. So we're writing a for loop to say for every element in the image tag that BeautifulSoup has gotten for us, right? We are. So you know what? Let me come here. Let me come back to Let's go to Property Pro. Let's go to Property Pro. Remember, this is our, this is the HTML code for this particular website, right? So as you can see here, this is the image tag, img. All right. Now the image tag has other things inside. There's a word for it, but for now I'm just putting the things, right? So it has other parameters. Well, we could call it parameters, whatever, right? So it has, so here we have height, width, style. I need to be able to explain this. All right, so inside it we have height, width, style, src. Now this src, it means source. It generally means where the content of the picture is, like the main picture itself, right? So these are just like stylings for this particular picture. We want the height to be 1, we want the width to be 1, we want the display to be none. Well, like where these are like add-ons and decorations for this particular source, right? So where this particular image is listed in source. So that's why so because we can't enter source directly, right? To enter source, you have to enter image. You have to take the image tag, right? After you taking the image tag, then because we want to get the images, we're not concerned with all these other parameters. We want to download the image directly, right? So you come here and we are looking for source. So that's what this particular page is talking about. So the image URL itself, where the image is located, is in the source of the image. Now, as you can see, this source starts with HTTPS. So it's a location somewhere on the web, that particular picture, right? It's a location somewhere. So in our code, we are saying, hey, if it starts with this particular HTTPS, then we get, because that's the only way we can download it. I remember when Ty was talking about APIs, web content, like was talking about the whole HTML thing. He mentioned something about there are some pages you can't access on the internet, not because they are not just, they've made them to not be accessible, right? So usually I don't think I have best explanation for this, right? But usually what we really want to do here is we want to say for files, because we know files that start with HTTP are files we can generally download most of the time. So we're just saying all the images that start with HTTP, pick them out, and those are the things we'll download. Do you get? So we are saying image equals to URL plus image URL. So this is now the URL we have here with our image URL. Then we are saying image response gets the image URL. So this is download that data for us, right? So this .get is now saying download it for us. Then, so remember we created a folder here. So what this is saying is just all that folder I created here, I'm going to read it into all the pictures I'm downloading, right? Sorry, I said folder. All the pictures I'm downloading, I want you to read it into the folder I just created. That's like the long and, I don't know why I'm saying long and short, but that's like the full summary of what it is. So we are saying, so open the OS path joint, open this image folder, right? Then when you open it, read and write the content of this image response into it. So store it there. That's basically what it's saying. So I also said I want to get all the tags, the key tags, the H1 tags, the spans, the div classes, just get everything, append them together. The image on the Property Pro website, right? It's what's the word now? The image. So in HTML documents, we've talked about tags already. Now, images are generally located in the img tag, so the image tag, right? Then usually in the image tag has like some other decorators and things like style the image, right? But the main file itself, the main image document is usually located in the RC tag inside the image tag, right? So SRC, not RC, SRC. So this SRC tag, it's usually accompanied with an HTTPS or HTTP file. So it's always somewhere on the internet. Like you have to host it somewhere, right? So that's where you can like that. So we want to pick out this particular source and get the image from this particular source. Now, remember we are using the .get, and now the .get library. Sorry, I said .get. The request library. The request library is used for getting content from HTTP websites, used for getting resources from HTTP pages generally. All right. So that's what we want to do. We want to get it from this particular place. So this is what we are actually looking for. But now we can't start going over all the all the webs, all the what's the word now? All the images on this particular place. Right. So that's why we did a find all to find all the img tags there and get their SRC file. Awesome. So now I ran my own and it worked well. So as you can, so it worked well. But since an image, right? Let me just, since an image, it will be here. So images, right? It is here. So as you can see, these are like the images on that website. So like some of the images on the front page, right? So let's look at this. If I download this one, so it's an SVG image. Oh, so this is the Google Play image on their website. Let's see what this. I saw something. So vendor category. Okay, so this is what it downloaded. So yeah. So yeah, all right. Bedroom, bedroom, let's look at this. Okay, so this is an image of a house, right? Okay, so yeah. All right. I'm just going to run through this because I know Tyod had done justice to this in the morning. He spent time talking about RESTful APIs. And I remember in that class, he showed how to like get a GitHub API, like how to use the GitHub API to get information about the profile, right? So please just refer to that class. And there was something important that was said in that class, right? And it's that usually APIs for different websites, different companies, they vary from each other. There's a general format, but generally they vary, like the style, how you would call them vary. Yeah? But the main thing to do, so the best way to retrieve, so the idea for this class was, we're going to use the open weather map API to retrieve weather data, right? So up until the last time I used this website, this the open weather map API, it was basically freemium, right? It was basically freemium. You could use it, but right now I think everybody, so even Google Maps API, the Twitter API, you have to pay for it, right? It's only GitHub you don't necessarily have to pay for. So Open Weather Map API, they've upgraded it, so it's no longer the 2.5 now. It's now like 3.0. And the basic version, you have to put your credit card and pay for it, right? So, and it's not as if we can't pay for it, right? Well, I just ignored that. I was like, there's no need for all of that. So yeah, we've seen how to use the Kaggle API, right? So that pretty much covers it. So let me just run through this. So this is something so I'd prepared the material already. You need to see that you had to pay for it, right? So now let me just run through it. So if you want to use the Open Weather Map API, all you need to do is just go to the openweathermap.org. You have to create an account to them. So you remember like Kaggle, you have to create an account. For Google also, you have to like create a Google Console account, right? Then go to the API tab on your profile, then copy the default API, right? When you copy that default API key, so API keys are generally keys. They open doors for you. They allow you like tell the server that, hey, I want this information, and the server gives you because you have that key. It's like an access code. You get. So to do that, so we are going to use we are going to use our request library. Is for getting resources from the URL, right? And because of this open weather map, they send JSON files, right? So Python has a library that covers that. And I remember what I was talking about this morning. So it uses the import. So we just import JSON. So you specify the key, we specify the we specify the name of the city we want, right? Then we write an API URL. So we are saying So the API URL for, so if you go to their website, their documentation, all of this is right there. All of this is right there. It's a one API code. So so if you want to like tweak it, you just it's from here you tweak it. All right. So that's that. So if you can see, there's still the error message. Please note that using require this episode subscription, yada, and all of that. So usually, any API you want to call for, any API you want to use, it will usually require that you pay for it, or you create an account or something. So just follow that due process, go to the documentation, check it out, and you are generally good to go. So also, I was also trying to like use I was trying to use Google custom search API engine, right? It worked, but it worked, right? But that the process is a bit, I think we can go over it in this class. So all you need to do is this. So use the Google custom, let me just type it here. Google search engine API. So this is another API we use to like get images, right? So it's the Google search API. So all you just need to do is go to this website, click, copy this Google search engine API, paste it on Google, and it will take you to like the main site itself. You log in with your what's the word now? You have to log in with your, I don't know if we have time. I'm just going to use my mouth to run through this, guys. You log into your Google account. It uses your Google account. So you log into your Google account. You'll see a place where it tells you to generate API key. You'll see a place where it tells you to generate search engine ID. Then when you generate that, all you just need to do is to construct your request, your API requests to do this. So I have disabled these keys and this search engine. So I don't think you'll be able to use them. Well, so the query I want here is images of Donald Trump. Let me just take this out. Let's say images of dogs. So this is a search query. So this is basically what I'm trying to do here is generally, if you go on Google, for example, and say images of dogs, all right, it takes you to the images, this part generally, right? So we want to like just write a line of a query that will download all these images locally for us. That's basically what we want to do. But to do this, generally, I would advise that you use the Google Search Engine API. All right. Because of our time, but you have the code there, right? So just get your API key and search engine ID, the query, then you write the URL. So the URL will contain your query, to contain your search engine ID, and to contain your your API key. Then the search type is image, right? So when you run this, everything is stored in. So the URL is going to be stored in your request object. So you do your response object. So that response object has the request.get URL inside, right? So the data is going to be stored. It's going to be a JSON file, right? We are saying data. We are passing it into JSON. So we are saying data equals to response.json. Then this basically means we are print. So remember I told you every image is stored somewhere on the internet, right? It has a location. So we are trying to like, so this here is just saying separate the link from the images. Give me the link and also give me the image, right? So this was when I was testing it out. If you come here, it will give you the image of Donald Trump, and it has saved it already. So let's, let me run this. Let me just run this. So if you come here, So this one just basically prints out the link to the images, right? While this here, we are now like downloading the images. Here in this particular place, we did not specify a download location, right? There was no download location specified here, so it can't download it. Right? It was in the next, here we are now specifying a download. So we are saying output directory. So do you remember how we made directory? So os.make directory, then the name of the directory itself, then exists, okay, it was true. All right, so basically here we are saying for all the items in data, so data is the JSON file that is containing everything we've passed from this query, right? For all the items in data, so we are doing an enumerate. Enumerate would just basically give an index to every of all those files, right? And we are saying, here we are saying for the image URL, let it be the item and the link. So because we are enumerating them, right? So enumeration basically takes a list, like or an iterable dictionary or whatever, then puts an index to it. So we are saying the image URL for the image URL is the link of every item, right? The link for every item. That's what this line is saying. Then we are getting an image response from that URL itself. So remember what I was saying earlier on, that every image is located somewhere on the internet. So the link is basically that https something website. So for example, like all the images of dogs we wanted here, this is where they were stored, right? So this first step is just showing us where they were stored. So now we want to access these links directly to download from these links. You get? So that's basically what we are doing here now. So we are getting the image. We want to get the resource from those images, the image URL, right? Then we are creating an image extension. We are doing .split. So usually the names come. So this is just from experience, right? The names will come out all jumbled up and all of that. So you want to like split them. You want to split it with dots. So after the .jpg, every writing after it should get out, right? Remember, so that's basically what we are doing. We want to take everything to .jpg or .png or whatever format, because usually they can come out like, so after the .jpg, they'll be like order equals to something attached to it. So we don't want any of that, right? So then we are specifying a path name that for all these images, they should come to bring them to the output directory we've mentioned, then put an index, the image extension added to it. So then we are opening our file. Then when it opens our file, when it opens the image file, we want it to read it, download. We want a response that says download, then print, then so that we can see. All right. So we can't really touch on this right now, right? So the dealing with dynamic content. All right. So dynamic content. So for example, if you come to this HTML, this CNN website, for example, the headline here today will not be the headline here tomorrow, right? It would always change. So that's basically what the dynamic content is, right? Website that. So for example, if you want to get the website, if you want to scrape it out from a weather website, for example, the weather content of today will be different from tomorrow and on like that, right? So usually we'll deal with that using Selenium, right? It's a very powerful tool that helps us deal with. So it helps. So BeautifulSoup and BeautifulSoup HTTP request library, they can't necessarily use the find by ID or find by, you can't necessarily find things by ID. Selenium is a tool for creating scripts that you can use to automate between websites. What am I saying? It's a tool that will help you like get content from dynamic websites, basically, right? You can use it to automate browser actions. So for example, let's say you have a form and you want to like fill out, you want to tick maybe a long form and you want to tick all the option C's, or you want to iterate between options, you can use Selenium for that. Let's say you want to click buttons. Let's say you want to, do you have content like images and videos, for example, on a website? And or like the use case Samuel talked about, you want to get commentaries, and commentaries, they happen like on the go, right? So those kind of things that if you come back in the next 3 minutes, they won't be there again. But you want to just find where that component is and just be getting all the content from that particular component. Selenium allows you to do that, right? And to use Selenium, you have to like pip install Selenium first. Now, usually when you are working with Selenium on Chrome, there are generally issues with the WebDriver, right? With the web manager. So it's all so if you come here and all of this here, so this is basically a Chrome problem. If you are using Internet Explorer, you won't have these issues, right? So, but usually everybody uses Chrome. So for some Chrome versions, depending on the Chrome version you are using, you may not need any of all of these codes. Apart from this, yeah, you don't need any of all this. In fact, I think I did this twice. So this WebDriver just allows it. These are some restrictions Selenium has. So it's just allowing it to pass so that you can run Selenium. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for having me here Saturday.